Let's talk about politics. It's a hot topic at the moment, and one of the filters I've had to set up because of the amount of trolls I get over it is the word Tory. Now, I'm not actually a Tory. I don't believe in a lot of their policies and manifesto, and I did an online test to figure out which party and policies I most aligned with, and actually the results were Liberal Democrat. It can be really difficult as a young person or even as an older person to really understand what each party represents. And we don't have a straightforward democracy with the first past the post and voting with the whip system here in the UK. It's quite confusing to know what actually our votes count for. And even if you do believe that the MP that you vote for has the right agenda and attitude and beliefs as you, they may not actually be allowed to vote in the way you want them to when it comes down to it. So it can be rather confusing and really frustrating. I'm pretty frustrated about the state of politics at the moment. I don't feel that we, the people, decided who would run the Conservative Party. You had to be a Conservative member in order to vote, and one had to become a member quite some time prior to this vote for the newest Prime Minister. And then the Prime Minister decides who her or his nearest cabinet are, and the current selection leaves a lot to be desired. We seem to have a government with quite extreme views, and that concerns me. I don't think that there is any place for extremism in this world because, well, then we see dictatorship and suffering, as we do in other countries. And this country at the moment, people are suffering. Times are bloody difficult. People are really struggling to pay their bills. And the division between the rich and the poor is becoming greater. I worry about money. I worry about feeding my family. I worry about trying to pay the bills. We all live within the means of what we have created, and most of us live on that cusp. My parents, the baby boomers from the 50s and 60s, saved money. They saved money, they believed in keeping their money and keeping it safe, whereas my generation, and I was born in the 80s, we lived more for the moment. My friends and I didn't believe in saving vast quantities of money for the future. We wanted to live our lives. We wanted to spend the money now. Many of my peers and I don't have vast savings. We live, we work, and we spend the money on the life that we have created. And no matter what you spend your money on, what you deem to be those luxuries in life, that's personal, and that's your choice to spend the money as you wish. We all have constraints on our lifestyle, and we live within or slightly outside of our means. Otherwise, well, it all goes wrong. But when we see the cost of living increasing like it does now, it puts the strain on pretty much everyone, apart from those who are the super rich. I don't have envy or upset towards the super rich. They're typically there because they've worked really hard, they've inherited, or, they were lucky. They won the lottery or, whatever. But the point is I don't have an issue with rich, super rich people. That's absolutely fine. But I do believe there should be a spread and support of wealth. I don't believe in taking away money from people who have it. That's not fair. But I don't believe that people in this country, in the United Kingdom, should be going to food banks. I don't believe people should be suffering and struggling. We have too much wealth in this country alone for people to be so unhappy and so impoverished. It's not okay. And this is where the government is meant to make a difference. This is where the government is meant to have not extreme views. They're meant to have views that temper, that bring together the people for the masses, for the good of the majority. And I don't believe this government does it. I don't believe they have done for a long time. They have done some good things, but they don't seem to be thinking about the people and where it really can make a difference. And don't get me started on fracking. I cannot believe in this day and age, with the cost of living of electricity and gas, that they want to introduce fracking again. That is just lining the pockets of their friends who own these fracking companies. Fracking kills our planet. We need to protect our planet. We need to keep it alive. We need to look after the oceans and the earth because, guys, newsflash, if the earth dies, so do we. It doesn't matter how much money you have, how much you've created your gilded palace around you, you will die. You cannot send yourself to space, even if you think you can build a spaceship. Like Jeff and Richard sending their phallic spaceships into space. We need the earth to survive. Please don't let this government frack our beautiful country. So why is politics just so frustrating at the moment? I think it's because our vote, well, at least I feel that my vote doesn't count for anything, that I can't have people representing me, or at least the common good of this planet and the people within it. No one should go hungry. No one should suffer. Everyone should have access to free healthcare and good free healthcare. Why can't this government, why can't any government figure this out? I mean, at this rate, I'm going to have to run for Prime Minister because I am getting so exasperated over the situation. So please don't call me a Tory because I'm not one. I'm actually Lib Dem. And if you are trying to figure out who you should vote for, do your research. Do an online test. Better still, get involved. If young people start to be present within politics and taking more active attention or become MPs themselves, we can make change. They need to stop fighting at each other. They need to stop blaming the other parties, and they need to make real change. Something has to change. It's got to, for the good of all of us. Let me know what you think.